And you're on the punchline with Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez. What's up, y'all?
Not much boxing other than obviously the Wilder fight this week.
Sure, we're going to be able to have enough to talk about that.
The Wilder fight and
I think the undercard was
garbage.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, right.
Dude, I didn't. I streamed it. I streamed it though, so I didn't pay for it either. But Ortiz did a lot better than I thought he was going to do in that fight. I really did.
Well, I thought
Ortiz
it was
boxed
kind
the
of
shit out of him.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of did the same thing in the first fight a little bit too, though.
There was more fireworks in the first one, though, didn't you think?
Yeah.
Both of them dropped each other. But I don't know. I'm not as sold as on Wilder. A lot of people are. I mean, his right hand is the most powerful right hand I've ever seen in the heavyweight division. There's no doubt about it. The guy can equalize anybody.
I think of any era.
Probably.
I could honestly say, and people think I'm crazy.
I don't know.
I could say with Shaver, it's a different type of power. I mean, I could put him up there with Shavers and Foreman.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Foreman's just a clubby type of power. Right?
Yeah. I mean, it's devastating. That's the whole thing. Go ahead.
No, just listen to you.
No.
It's just a different kind of power, I guess.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing that everybody keeps going on. Sorry, I got an important thing. Here's the thing that everybody keeps saying too. Like, listen, we know that Wilder is not the best boxer.
He's not even very good.
Yeah, he's not even the best right now today in his own weight division. He's not the best boxer or the most talented fighter. But what I keep trying to explain, and I'm sure James, same thing, like with his power, and I keep saying of any era that he may go down as the hardest heavyweight puncher. And on top of that, first of all, let's be real. He don't have that bad a defense. It's probably the second best in the heavyweight division right now. He does not really get hit with that many clean shots compared to the other heavyweights. Secondly, when he does get hit, he has a fairly damn good chin for the heavyweight division. His stamina is pretty damn good that he showed. And obviously the power. So that's what makes him dangerous. I mean, we're talking about the heavyweight division, first of all. So there's not much. It's not filled with
world beaters,
talent-wise. So, but when I rank him with the other all time, you got a guy that's 6'7". Guys back in the heyday weren't used to fighting guys 6'7", 6'6", 6'8". He has shown that he's a dangerous fighter, and unfortunately, I know people hate to say it, and it's hard for me being a boxing fan because he's not technical in there, and he don't have the boxing, the boxing technique that we all know. But unfortunately, or not unfortunately, the guy's he's one of the most dangerous heavyweights of all time, and people have to live with that. I mean, it's going to be hard for me to pick anybody when he fights him. Even if they're a 3 times better boxer than like a Chris Bird, it's hard for me to go against Wilder because of that punch. It's like a radar on that punch. Yeah. He finds it, he lands it. No matter what, it may be the 9th round. He'll land that punch, and you may not get up from it.
I agree. Hey, Donovan, how you doing? Donovan says, "What's up, guys? Finally able to attend these Tuesday shows. Good." There's some questions here already, or statements. Wilder was losing. Malachi Ben Yosef said, Wilder was losing every second of that fight, and the right hand is maybe the greatest equalizer in any sport in decades. I have to agree. Darren says, Wilder's power is crazy, and it seems to keep getting him out of losing fights. But can he keep relying on that, especially in the Fury match? Can you do anything different? You know what? I think if once you live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword eventually. You're not going to knock everybody out. It's just some ways, and then he's going to have to rely on what little things, because I don't see him getting better like a lot of people. We're saying, oh, he's improving. He's really not. He's kind of relying on the same thing he's been doing. I saw him, like me, my opinion, I saw during the fight, I don't know if you disagree or not, but he was very, very tentative to let his hands go because he was getting countered every time he throws something. Ortiz was coming over the top and hitting him, and he looked like he was backing up and shuffling back a little bit, and then he would launch, and he kept looking for that right hand over and over, and I was like, well.
Absolutely.
And I saw it coming. I knew he was going to catch him eventually.
But with that being said, he has the chin and he has the stamina for heavyweight division to where he will probably land that big shot. He does all the time. He was getting outboxed even up to the last round with Fury. I mean, he dropped Fury before that. It's going to be really hard to survive against Wilder. I mean, I'm sorry, it really is.
I think Fury can beat him.
I do too, but I think that Fury could also be knocked out at any second of that fight.
Yeah.
Because Fury don't have the best whiskers, and if he lands a fairly decent punch, like he did last fight, it's up in the air. But he's one of the most dangerous heavyweights that I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. Dan says Wilder not being a great boxer is why he's so entertaining to watch, especially with that eraser. Question though, at his stage, can he improve as a boxer? Should he even try?
No. And he's going to lose fights. Heavyweights do that. It's hard to see an undefeated heavyweight go. I mean, your greats had
Marciano was the only one.
Yeah, right? Marciano, and he had, but most of them 44 or 4 losses, 3 losses, 5 losses. It happens.
I agree. I don't know. I really think a lot of people they got mad at me, but I said I could see Usyk giving Wilder problems just because of his style.
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying he beats him. I'm saying give Wilder problems. That could be because of the boxing ability and the skills of him.
I agree, and he's not that much short. He's 6'4". One of the taller, same height as, if not taller than Ortiz.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I can see that.
And I think Usyk might be smart enough to circle away from that right hand and keep away from it the whole night. I think Ortiz just kind of stepped into it or walked into it because he was staying pretty disciplined the first 6 rounds, and then all of a sudden it was boom, it was lights out.
But he started getting a little tired
lazy.
And getting tired against a guy like Wilder,
who
don't get tired as easy.
No, he's 6'7", 220, right? What was it, 220 that night? Jeez.
I think he's 6'3" or 6'4".
Wilder 6'7", 220, right?
Yep. Emilio X says, "Sup, fellas? Wilder is not best puncher. He has the most powerful right hand. All of his punches hurt Emilio, but AJ has a left hook, right hand uppercut combination punching. I see AJ KO him."
Luke Wilder?
Yeah.
AJ couldn't even get past Ruiz.
I know. Some fighters have round-stealing power, but Wilder has fight-stealing power. It's scary to think how good he would be if he boxed in his teens.
Sakura said, "Is Wilder officially the man to beat in the heavyweight division?" I think so right now. I mean, I would think so.
I think Fury still. You got to give Fury his. I mean, I thought Fury won that fight against.
I think Fury's the real heavyweight champion of the division.
I mean, he won that fight against Wilder. Kevin Carter says, "Emilio X, come on, dude. AJ gets hurt and fatigued in every fight, and all Wilder has to do is land one solid punch." And I agree with Kevin on that one.
Yeah, I have to agree with Kevin too. Alan says, "Hey fellas, is there always a highlight Tuesday this is always a highlight Tuesday regards Wilder. I'm a Fury fan and have spent a long time spotting and talking about Wilder's frailties. I'm done now. I'm all in. All the top dogs in the heavyweight division have frailties, but that death touch will get him out of most tight spots."
I agree.
It
will, because he lands it. It's not like if he lands it.
It's not like it balls and bounces off their head. It hits right where he wants to hit it.
Yeah, I mean, he is like a radar on that. And for not being technical, not being a boxer, he lands that punch. Yeah. And people don't get away from it. And again, if it takes 5 or 6 rounds, he lands it.
Yeah. I think this, and here's what I said before. Wilder's a great athlete. He's an average boxer, and he has a fantastic punch, and that's really what he encompasses.
Yeah.
He's an average boxer. He's not special, but he is a great athlete, and that carries you far. It carried Roy Jones far into his career being a great athlete. It carried Nassim Hamed into his career being a great athlete. Yeah. These guys weren't.
I think Roy was a way more technical, though, even more so than Nassim Hamed.
God, yeah, but Roy was more athletic than he was technical. There was always flaws in Roy.
Yeah, but when you get a guy, and that's a good point that you brought up, when you get a guy as talented and as good as a boxer like Floyd. Roy and Floyd. Roy was more athletic than Floyd.
But Floyd was athletic and a great boxer, so that's made him really special. Oscar De La Hoya was a great athlete and great boxer.
The only one I can compare to now to Roy Jones, as far as athletic, is Lomachenko.
What about Crawford?
Yeah, but Crawford's also just a technician. I mean, he's so smart and he just breaks you down. Obviously, he got skills.
Yes.
Athleticism, but I think as far as like comparing Crawford to like a Roy Jones,
it's a different type of fighter. I understand what you're saying, but but I could see where Crawford would be a great athlete too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you got to have the speed. You can have all the technique, but if you're not, that's the same thing. Like people talk about me, but I was just a power puncher. You got to have the speed to land that punch still.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You still got to. There's no way you can just do that and survive for long term. But as far as their question is, will Wilder improve? I don't think so. You get so far in your career You're going to get so far in your career where it's hard to change again unless they tear you down and start you from day one. And Wilder's not going to do that. What is Wilder? 32 years old?
33.
33? Yeah, you're not going to tear him down and start again. All they can do is work on what he does well.
He's fine-tuned, yep. James Burrell said, I think Wilder is widely overrated. He doesn't fight anyone good except Fury. And only fought him.
Who is he supposed to fight? He's fighting everybody in the heavyweight division.
More than anybody else is really fighting.
He's fighting everybody in the you have
Ortiz is the most dangerous fighter.
Yes. You what do they say? You dance with the one who brung you. That's all in the heavyweight division. What's it say? 5.2. Really?
Yeah. Young Yoda says, I don't like Wilder, but I got to be honest. He knows how to sleep a man. I think if he had some real teacher who would get him better at skills, he could be an all-time great.
I don't know. Mark Breland's probably the best you can get at boxing technique.
Yeah, young Yoda, and he's too old now.
Yeah, Mark Breland is one of the best technicians
Absolutely.
ever. So, yeah, it's who are you going to get better?
Yep, I got to catch up on these. Kevin Carter. Kelly, do you see Fury being able to beat Wilder fighting on the inside like he did with Cunningham and Wallen? I think it might be the best chance to hurt Wilder and possibly get him out of there. I don't know, Kevin. I think he should fight him the same way he did the last fight, to be honest, and just watch out for the power. I mean, he was winning that last fight pretty convincingly.
Yeah.
Darnell's on Instagram.
Oh, Darnell Boone's on the Instagram.
The great Darnell Boone.
He did different things each fight up until this last fight. I think he's talking about Wilder.
Yeah. Oh, no. I mean, Darnell Boone is another guy. Very athletic. Very athletic. Yeah. And his athleticism carried him a lot farther. I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad boxer. Yeah. I'm just saying that Darnell's very fucking athletic. He had a late start, and him being a great athlete helped his career a lot.
Absolutely.
Darnell's gonna be like, fuck you, I'm kicking your ass.
Yeah, he's gonna be waiting outside the gym like, all right, motherfucker, let me show you these.
Let me show you what a boxer I really am. I'm 42. I officially retired tonight. Did you see me on the bag? I was like, you know what? Fuck this. My elbow popped. It's like, I ain't hitting the bag no more.
I do that too.
I'm fucking. Did yours do that?
Yeah.
No.
It does. Yeah, it does. Everything hurts.
You're young, man.
Jose Ellis, he goes, Tank is little Roy. No, he's not.
No.
Not even close.
No. There is no little Roy.
Yeah. Wilder has plenty of fights washed out by dirty test.
What? Wilder does?
Wilder has the same whiplash style right hand that his coach has.
Did he say Wilder had dirty test?
Or hopefully he's talking about his opponents had dirty.
Oh, okay, because Wilder's one of the cleanest guys in the sport.
Yeah.
Wilder is one of these guys that Wilder's one of those guys that invites you Sada to come in. And he does, he demands it. So, look at that. Good save. It would have knocked Kelly out.
That was almost my dome. Kevin Carter, Darnell Boone dropped Andre Ward. Yeah, he did. He dropped a lot of people.
Kaiser Gandala says, Virgil Ortiz, Kelly is wearing your t-shirt. Of course, Virgil's the homie.
He's the homeboy.
Damon's watching. Of course, Damon. That's the guy. Lori's watching. Lori Greenwald.
Damon
Ricky.
Some funny fucking memes over the last week.
Who has?
No, Martinez.
Damon has? Damon has great memes. Thank you. Thank you, bro.
Ricky goes, Justin has dirty test.
I do too.
Yes, I do.
I had Brownie Week last week. Brownie Week.
Noel Salwan says, James, you got the reflexes, bro.
Gosh.
No, I got to talk with him this weekend.
Who?
Noel.
Hey, tell Noel that was about the last reflexes I have. That was it. I used them all up.
Yeah, that's all he's got.
My cousin Eddie's watching. Cedric's watching. I like Cedric. Cedric and what's his name? We're beefing this weekend. Ruben. We're beefing this weekend on Facebook. Yeah. And then somehow I get pulled into it. I'm like, what the fuck? And they're like, the main just don't wanna roast with me. I say, man, I don't even want to get involved with this because I will make everybody cry. Yeah. If I have to go in, and I've been retiring and stepping back, I'm gonna make
Cedric Foster said that?
What? Cedric was saying that I didn't want none on because Ruben was roasting him and tagged me. I was like, man, I don't want to get involved with some other man. But I was like, look, if I have to drop the gauntlet, I'm making everybody cry. I'm going in on families, friends, fucking beach houses. I'm going in on everything. I'm done with this shit.
You know what? I do want to get into that real quick. DJ Image says Wilder versus Canelo. You could put Jalen Rose.
Okay. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I did hear that. That's fucked up.
Well, you know what I did hear? You know who I heard was fighting? I heard Virgil Ortiz and Fury were fighting soon.
Yeah, right.
They're fighting for the welterweight heavyweight title.
I can't believe some of the fans get on there and just ask. They say that. Who's next for Leo Santa Cruz?
Leo has a fight here next week, right? This weekend.
Oh, Leo fought.
He just fought, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he win? I didn't even watch that.
Yeah, he won.
Did he look good? No.
It was. It put me to sleep.
That's Leo. I can't believe I missed that fight.
You know, I noticed with that little hand thing he does.
Yeah.
A kid that I used to box with used to do that too. That's a nerve.
Yeah.
I think that's a, what do you call that? Like
it's a twitch.
Like a tick almost.
Yeah.
Like a twitch. A lot of fighters do that. It was not because he's trying to do anything.
No.
This kid, Charlie Fagan,
Yeah.
Chucky Fagan, used to do the same thing when he boxed. He'd always do that, and I remember Jack always getting pissed, like, "Fucking stop it with that hand! Stop! I'm gonna cut that hand off. I'm gonna tape it." And he just always the same exact thing. He just.
But you know what? You're not catching his timing off of it. So what difference does it make? Because he's not throwing right away as he does it. He's just doing it. There was a Esteban says, if you are AJ, how do you deal with the pressure of a must-win rematch of Ruiz? That's a good question for you, Kelly.
Wait, what was it?
Esteban says, if you are AJ, how do you deal with the pressure of a must-win rematch with Ruiz?
There's going to be pressure no matter what. You got to go in there and you got to fight your style, or you stick to your game plan. I think again, I don't think it's anything with Joshua's game plan that went wrong in that fight. I don't think it's anything to do with that. I think that his strength and conditioning coach. I think in the strength and conditioning field that something needs to change.
Have you looked at him? Looks fucking great. He's lean.
Lean.
And he's lost like 10 pounds of muscle.
Good. And I think at that point, because that's what was hurting him. When you're that big and you got that much muscle, it takes more oxygen.
We said that 2 years ago. He needed to cut muscle.
Exactly, and you noticed in all his fights, he got tired faster, and he got
Do you think that might be one of the case with Canelo too, being heavily muscle like that? Why he'd get so tired?
Canelo?
Yeah, because he is muscle. He's for his weight.
Canelo to me seems like it's not so much muscle where he's tired as much as it is cardio.
Cardio
in the later rounds, but it could be.
Jason says Figueroa Ceja was definitely the best fight of the night. I agree. I'm not a Figueroa fan of him or his brother, but yeah, it was a good fight.
Jake Miller wants to know what beer you're drinking.
I don't know what am I drinking.
It says bitches be tripping.
It's called Bitches Be Trippin'.
Bitches be tripping. Noel says, "Hi guys, do you think it's time for another UFC versus boxing event?
Nope.
Baddest man on the planet, Stipe versus Deontay Wilder."
Well, you know what? Why don't we ask? Let's ask Justin. What do you think, Justin? Do you think boxing's ready for another UFC versus boxing event like Stipe versus Wilder?
No, because that's not even going to be.
We gotta get him a mic.
He's gonna.
I know.
The boxing is just going to be.
Stipe's only 6 foot tall anyway. He's not that fucking big, man.
Knocked out by one. That's not,
Yeah, he would. I mean, it's not even.
It needs to be somebody that trains for it. It needs to be somebody.
Do you know what though? I wouldn't mind seeing John Jones Wilder. I wouldn't mind seeing it. I wouldn't mind seeing it. I think it. I don't think.
I mean, to see it, to watch it, I don't know how much I'd pay for it. I mean, I'd watch it after the fact.
I think Wilder wouldn't have an easy time with John Jones because he's so all over the place.
He is. I mean, John Jones is a fantastic athlete, but at
Yeah.
the same time, he's not. John Jones doesn't give a shit about boxing. I mean, training for boxing, and he would. I don't think he bastardized himself to do that.
Yeah.
You need somebody that's legit training for both, to do both, and that could legitimize the whole thing.
I agree.
Crossovers back and forth. That'd be great.
Well, to finish off on that's a good point, Justin. Finish off on Noel question. Funded by an Arab country. That's a little biased there, Noel. on ABC Sports Saturday in early March. Yeah, I look at it like this. I think that does more damage to the sport of boxing than what's their names, the YouTube stars.
Oh yeah, Logan Paul. And
Logan Paul.
KSI.
Yeah, I mean, Deontay Wilder will destroy Stipe in a boxing ring.
Yeah.
Now, if you put Stipe in a octagon, obviously you're going to go with
It's gonna go a different situation.
with Stipe. So
He's gonna have Wilder's little skinny legs all wrapped up. But Damon says he's terrible, meaning Wilder, but he's mastered looking for that opening to land, and it's what making money for him in that division. I agree with Damon on that. He don't look great, but he knows how to land that right hand, and as long as he has that, he's always going to be in a fight.
absolutely, that's what I keep saying. Emilio goes, Kelly as a puncher. How do you compare Tyson's style of power to Wilder's, and how they generate the power? Tyson was shorter and generated his from his legs, those big freaking
Hips and legs.
secretariat legs, and he was a thudding, powerful guy. And I'm going to be honest,
Fast, too, right?
fast. But Tyson also took a couple more shots, had to land a couple more big ones than Wilder does. I mean, he obviously had some one-punch knockouts, but Tyson was just a strong brute. Tyson was a guy that everything he hit you would kind of hurt. As where Deontay Wilder is that lanky whip, like a whip, torque, speed that comes through it and knocks people out. It's a totally different power.
Yeah.
But I can guarantee you, if Wilder lands that clean, he's good. Nobody's going to survive that.
Yeah.
Evander Holyfield was able to survive Mike Tyson's shots. I don't think Holyfield would have survived a Wilder shot on a chin, especially coming down from 6 feet 5 inches. Coming down on the body, and Holyfield, other than Muhammad Ali, probably had the best chin in boxing. So that's just the difference. I think Wilder has that whip and that long, rangy punch, as where Tyson was more of the thudding.
Can I ask a question? Relating to Wilder and his technique, it's not traditional boxing, and people say, Wilder, as a boxer, he doesn't have the boxing talent. But with his knockout artist skills, the way that he is, comparing him to somebody like Helio Gracie, who couldn't do regular jiu-jitsu, so he invented BJJ, which became the new thing. Could Wilder's style, it truly is a style. Wilder is just timeless. He doesn't care about rounds, and this is his whole strategy. If it's a real, legit thing, him, whether it's just the way he times things or what he does, knowing that he can throw that. Could this be a new evolutionary style in boxing? Could this be the next thing? Could you train a Wilder? Is it possible?
Train him from earlier on. I don't think we could train him from late.
I don't think you could train him. You wouldn't want to train.
His power is just so natural.
Yeah, you can't train. You can't train.
He's a wildcat. They call that a wildcat because you can't time him, and he does everything off timed and out of technique, and it's really hard to kind of gauge what he's doing. He just does it.
Does he do it just because it's not, or does he know what he's doing when he does it, or is it just all instinct, or does
Kelly probably knows better than I do.
I'll tell you right now. I'll answer that question. 99 point. If you trained 10,000 fighters to fight like Wilder, 99.9% of them won't hit like Wilder does. That's not the way that you generate power when you box. That's not the right form. It's how he does it, I don't know, and it's a mystery, and maybe he just possesses. And I guess if you go back and say, if he did throw the punch with the right form, like an orthodox fighter,
Would it be as effective?
it probably would. It might be scary.
He looked like anyway.
Dude, they need to get wild. Do they still do that sports science show where they generate?
Yeah, they do.
They do.
It. Yeah.
They need to have him on.
They should for the next one, yeah.
And have him try and do traditional and have him do his way.
But what I'm saying is I could guarantee that most of the fighters will not be able to do that. Now, you got to take into consideration, yes, I know that the Klitschko's were tall. I know Joshua's tall.
Lennox Lewis was tall.
Lennox Lewis was 6'5", but he is 6'7", too, and that helps with that leverage and everything else. So somewhere along the line that he has a muscle where he's able to generate that much power. But if you train a bunch of other fighters to do that, they're not going to generate that power because the form. Yeah. Scientifically, there's no real way to generate power like Wilder does. I think that's just more of a natural gift that was given to him in the cradle.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know how they should do like a science breakdown on it. Like how the fuck does he do it?
Cedric said you wouldn't make me cry. I said you wouldn't help him. No, I'm not helping anybody, Cedric. If you're a man, you got to put your own work in. Unless you come at me directly, then he's gonna have to put his own work in, just like anybody else.
Yeah.
That's what I look at it.
F. Zappa says I love boxing and MMA, but I am tired of the crossover talk. I agree. Tyson was a muscle hamster. Laugh out loud. Yeah. The Quag says Secretariat legs. Laugh out loud. Ricardo says, what do you guys think of Mayweather post that his coming back in 2020 rumor is Oscar De La Hoya also training for a comeback? Who wins in a rematch, Oscar or Floyd?
Probably Floyd, since Oscar's still 4 or 5 years older than Floyd. He's even older. Oscar's 48 years old.
That's not good for Oscar.
Oscar's like 47, 48. Oscar couldn't make 47, 54. There's nothing for Oscar to do it for. Nothing for.
Well, besides the extra $100 million.
Yeah, but really, there's nothing in it for him.
And he would get half the promotions. Why would Mayweather want to do it?
Because
he's going to have to split the promotion.
Floyd is addicted to the spotlight. He's a narcissist. He cannot stand somebody else being in the spotlight. He jumps in constantly. Anytime someone's in the spotlight, and I like Floyd, one of my favorite fighters of all time. But Floyd cannot stand anybody to get credit. If Canelo gets something, he jumps in. I'm gonna make a comeback next year just to try to take that spotlight from Canelo or Wilder.
I mean, De La Hoya and Mayweather, I'd pay for it.
Would you really?
I absolutely.
I didn't want to pay for the first one.
I'd be interested. No, I would pay for that in a heartbeat because I think that. I mean, I think if De La Hoya
You know what?
would do it, he would take it seriously and he would train for it. I would think.
Here's my thing.
No interest at all in that.
No, if Floyd is so hell bent on coming back, fight Errol Spence or fight Crawford then. If you're so hell bent and you still like he said, Floyd said he could come back to boxing.
I wouldn't pay for it because I know he's going to get his ass whipped.
But Floyd said he would come back to boxing and he would take over the welterweight division again. Well, then fight Crawford or fight Spence.
Yeah, I mean,
prove yourself. Prove it.
Well, you can't say prove yourself. I mean,
prove it now that you're going to take over the welterweight division.
He's already proved it. And I'm a firm believer if Mayweather wanted to come back and fight Joe Schmo,
that's fine.
That he could. But also, if you are going to come back and you are talking that shit, then yeah, come back and fight.
But he said that if he comes back, he would run the welterweight division right now.
Yeah.
I said, well, then get in there with Crawford and Spence.
And it won't do a guy like Crawford any good or Spence because
it's $100 million. You just said it.
Yeah, but if they beat Mayweather too,
they beat an old Mayweather.
They're gonna get shit for that. They beat an old Mayweather.
And then if Mayweather turns around and fucking pulls a rabbit out of his, if Floyd pulls a rabbit out of his hat and whips his ass, Crawford was overrated the whole time, and old Floyd beat him up.
Yeah, and Floyd's stock really goes sky high.
There's some question. Oh, Damon says James and Kelly. Did Breland scrap Wilder's technical game in exchange for strictly waiting for? No, Breland never scrapped Wilder's technical game because he never had one, Damon. Go to the Olympics. Go to the Olympic Games and watch Wilder, and you'll see that he never had a technical game. He was like that.
How long has he been with Breland now?
A few years. But he only had 43. He only had I think 48 amateur fights. Not a lot of amateur fights. And to be an Olympic gold medalist is fucking incredible.
Honestly, if Floyd actually beat Crawford, that's like some Jesus level shit. Like, he should start the Church of Mayweather.
You should.
Dude.
I'll go.
Floyd beats
He should probably go fight in MMA.
Bro, Floyd comes back and beats Crawford, I'll suck my own dick.
Yeah.
I'll suck your dick too.
Forget. I'll count. Forget.
Yeah. I'm not going that far because Wilder.
You know you can watch.
No, Wilder still got it. Does a guy like Wilder drive trainers crazy? Hard to say he's doing it wrong. It could. I mean, no, because trainers know. I mean,
you can't prepare for him.
They know.
It drives. I think it drives trainers crazy. Kelly, you can answer this too. It drives trainers crazy because they can't prepare for a guy like that. You don't know what's coming.
No.
You don't know if he's gonna hit you with some crazy ninja right hand.
With his power,
you don't know.
You can do all the neck exercises in the world. I don't think that's gonna.
With guys that's been harnessed and honed in the USA boxing program, we, like Kelly and like myself, and a lot of the guys watching, you guys know as well as I do that we learn a basic style. We learn that 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2. We learn these straight punches right down the middle. It's hard to prepare for guys that don't have rhythm, don't have technique because they're all over the place. Yep. How many times have you sparred with a guy while he hit you with some overhand crazy shit that you wouldn't even believe somebody threw? It happens.
Floyd said he does not use vices like drugs or alcohol. Like James said, his addiction is attention.
Yes.
He keep getting wins. His record with MMA fighters.
Darren says, at very least, I think Wilder needs to put more body work with Fury. That would help if he did more body work with Fury.
Yeah, but he don't know how to do the body. I mean, you see him throw a left hook to the body.
Yeah.
It's not pretty at all.
Bobby says you have to beat him early on body punches. Yeah, but I don't know, Bobby. That's what happens is when you go in and you go to a guy with body punches, he's going to hit you with that fucking powerful right hand. You leave yourself exposed.
Mm-hmm. Kevin Carter said at the end of the Fury fight, did you notice Breland wasn't in the corner? He left ringside. That has to bother him.
Yeah.
It might. And then Quag said the mugshot of Spence was not good.
No.
Lots of scar tissue. His jaw looked messed up too.
Dude, he got launched out of a car over 100 miles an hour. For him to be walking, and for him to be walking is a blessing in itself. I think people need to quit worrying so much and just be happy that he's fucking healthy.
Yeah, is he going to fight again?
Oh, yeah.
What did they say?
Oh, I don't know, Kelly. I have no idea. You know how the rumors are. He's going to fight next week. He'll never fight again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's Wilder's 220 a fast twitch muscle? Can't argue with Dane on that. Sakura says, you're all crazy. Sakura had a question I want to answer, too. Zeta's watching. I love Zeta. She's so cool. Eddie, what's up? Scott, hey, what's up? Do you have any questions over there, Kelly?
No.
Okay, I'll just making sure.
Just
So we have a big one coming up too. Davis and Gamboa.
It's not a big one, but
Well, it's a big fight. They're both big names.
Yeah.
But I have Davis beating him pretty easily.
I do too. I mean, I think Gamboa's been done for quite some time now.
Yeah.
You know, another older guy in the division that was great for the sport in his prime. And I just don't. I have a hard time seeing these older guys just keep coming in and keep fighting, because I do know what the possible outcome 10 years down the line could be. You know, so I like to see guys like Gamboa go out and be healthy and enjoy the career that he had. He fought everybody, ballsy fighter.
Yeah.
I don't see Tank stock going up beating a Gamboa.
No, but that's the problem with Tank. He hasn't had the best competition, and I don't think it's his fault so much either. I think it's his promoter's fault, and his manager. They give him fights that, you know, and I don't see Davis being scared to fight anybody. But there are good fights out there. Kaiser Gonzalez says, what do you think about Munguia versus Sullivan? Who would win? That's easy for me. Munguia beat Sullivan. Sullivan got beat by got his ass whooped by Lemieux, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
handlebar man.
Yeah, I think Munguia is gonna beat Sullivan's cool, and he has a good little image thing. But let's be fair, Munguia, even though I'm not a fan of Munguia, I think he's not that great either.
Stops him. I don't think Sullivan got anything to hurt Munguia.
No.
I don't know. Munguia wins that fight fairly easy.
There was another one here. Clint Osborne says, hello from Cornwall, UK. Can't wait to see Spence come back. He's pound for pound the best out there. You have an argument. There's an argument for it, but Clint, I wouldn't put him pound for pound best. I think there's so many people out there right now. With the Porter fight, I think maybe that kind of knocked him back a little bit. Yeah. I don't know, but if you have him there, I couldn't argue it. Could you?
Who's that?
Having Spence number one, I couldn't argue it really.
I can't have him one right now.
I couldn't either, but I'm sure there's not a big argument.
It's not nothing crazy not to.
It's not like having somebody had Wilder number one pound for pound. That was an argument. Like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah, you can't do that. Ricardo says Oscar Valdez is fighting, or Valdez is fighting Saturday. If he wins, it's mandatory for Burchell.
Yep.
Who wins, Burchell or Oscar?
I don't know. I'm not impressed with Oscar Valdez. Not lately. He used to be really good, but maybe now that he's with Canelo's people, maybe it'll be different. You know?
Yeah.
Hey, look what we got. We got one of the greatest fighters ever, Orlando Canizales, watching.
Orlando
Canizales, Hall of Fame IBF champ, right?
Well, I had to tell a kid, the other day, Orlando came on, and Bobby Gordon, who's a buddy I've known Bobby for years, and older guy, he knew my brother.
I know Bobby.
And he was talking with Orlando, and it was kind of like almost a little dispute. So I had to text Bobby Gordon and be like, you know who you're talking with, man? He's like, no. I go to Orlando Canizales, and he's like, no. I was like, dude, go Google that motherfucker. Watch it. Go put on YouTube and watch his fights. He texts me back like an hour later. He's like, holy shit, that was a badass dude. I was like, yeah, it was.
Sometimes you got to watch who you're arguing with. Sometimes you're arguing with a motherfucker that I saw somebody.
He wasn't arguing like.
No, I know.
You know, it was a nice argument, but yeah, he texted me back an hour later like, he is a badass. Like, yeah.
Dude, I saw somebody arguing training with Bomac one time. They didn't know who Bomac was, and they were arguing with him. I said, are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Oh, and because the guy said.
What's up to Fighting Voice?
The guy told Bomac, he said, if you fucking knew anything about training, if you were a trainer and you knew anything about training, I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Training the pound for pound number one fighter in the world right now.
He has 3 world champions in a stable alone.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Jake Miller goes, yeah, he was. I would criticize him, but I had a few pours of whiskey and drove in the past as well. Spence made a mistake and nearly paid his life for it. Yeah, I mean, it does happen, Jake. And you put it as a good point. I mean, the Quags go, I thought Smith lost. 168 is a mess. 160 to 176 is a mess. 175.
Running that 4-mile run.
How is 160 to 175 a mess?
Those are some of the best weight classes.
I mean, You got so much talent in them 3 weight divisions.
Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Orlando. Esteban says, do you guys ever see China or India becoming nations that produce talent? Both countries had teams in the World Series of boxing.
Tell Orlando I said happy Thanksgiving too.
Kelly says happy Thanksgiving to Orlando. China already has a kid out that can fight. Did you see that kid? He threw 1,585 punches in a fight. Did you see that?
Oh yeah,
dude,
that's crazy.
The fuck, Xu? His name's Xu, right?
Yeah.
Esteban, check that kid out. He threw 1,585 punches, and then India has an Olympian that's fighting an Olympian.
Statistically, they should be able to put out more people than anybody.
Statistically, a billion fucking people, right?
See, they were kissing somebody's ass on Fox about how many punches they threw around.
Who was that?
With Santa Cruz or Leo Santa Cruz.
Was it Ray?
Yeah.
Ray was kissing ass? No.
They were talking about how many punches Ray threw.
Ray would never kiss ass.
The Fighting Voice. No,
Hey,
he wouldn't.
I've seen Santa Cruz a lot of punches.
The Fighting Voice says, "What's up, boys? Nothing but love, fellas. Love you guys."
Who's that?
A mess. No way, man. The Fighting Voice.
Oh, Fighting Voice. Love that dude.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Darren says, do you think it was a case of Ruiz hitting Joshua on the temple and him never recovering it? Or
Yeah,
was it just a
equilibrium.
bad style for Joshua? I'm leaning towards the former, giving Joshua a slight advantage. I agree, Darren. I'm taking Joshua in the rematch.
Yeah. Ruiz hit him right in a good spot.
He
man.
did. He hit him. He disconnected all systems.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on Ruiz's chin either, though. Are you?
No, I mean he was out.
He was out,
he
too.
just missed when he hurt Joshua with that shot. He just missed with that left hook. Or Joshua just missed.
Dan asked Kelly. Dan said, "What's with the crazy fish on the stream? Am I the only one seeing this?"
That's Willie Jenkins, man.
Dan, that's Willie P. Jenkins. He's been the show
Yeah,
master.
we're gonna take him down though. We're covering up my sweet science.
Why don't we move Willie to the top? We're not. Willie's been here.
Justin ain't moving shit right now.
He ain't moving shit. No, Willie's been here since the show started, hasn't he? Willie goddamn Jenkins.
The Quags.
That's what I said. Zucan, that's his name.
You guys think the winner of Povakin Hunter gets the title shot? I don't know much on that.
Michael Hunter and Povatkin.
Yeah.
But whose title? All the titles are wrapped up with
Or maybe get a shot.
Wilder and
If they
Fury.
get
Who
a
they get a
shot.
shot? Yeah.
Jose Elisandro goes, Canelo beat Rocky Fielding. Rocky Fielding beat John Ryder.
It's
Callum
moving around
Smith
the fish.
beat Rocky Fielding. John Ryder almost beat Callum Smith. Can Canelo beat Callum Smith?
We can't do triangle theories. Triangle theories don't work.
Yeah.
I've seen guys that beat
I don't
somebody
even
and
feel like
lose.
answering that.
No.
It's too much work.
Dana says, I was surprised Xu only has 3 knockouts on his record. Xu punches and has some pop on them. Yeah, a lot of that is he punching, but he's not putting anything behind him, or he just can't punch.
The Fighting Voice says Joshua will beat Ruiz. No doubt about it.
I think so too. I think Joshua's going to beat Ruiz in the rematch.
I can see that happening.
I don't think Lightning's going to strike twice the same way.
Timmy Turner says, do you think Canelo can still make 160?
I don't know. I don't know.
He's not that big.
I don't know, but I'm sure that it's possible. I don't know though. 68 is probably most logic place for him right now, right?
Mm-mm.
There's good fights at 68 for him.
I think logic is 160.
Yeah, but I think there's good fights at 68 for him.
I think you start getting into the B-Vols, and I'm sorry.
And,
I know he beat Kovalev, B-Vol, Benavidez.
Plant he beats.
I think he beats Plant.
I like Plant too. He was on the show, but we got to be fair on this. You know what? I had a friend of mine, Jake Powell, who goes by 7 C's. He's a producer in Dallas. He wanted me to ask a question, Kelly, yesterday, and I told him I'd ask for him. What's the difference with the business of boxing, like the old days of business of boxing to the new days of business? Like, how is it different? Like maybe boxing in the 80s and 70s, the business aspect of it, and how the sport has evolved now and the business now, how it's changed, other than the mob running it back in the 70s.
Yeah, well, first of all, I was just going to say that was a big issue. I think I was a little bit before, like up until the 70s was the end of it. It really weakened out. It really weakened out in the 70s. And 80s,
I know the Italian mob. They tried to put a hit on Don King in the 80s. I heard. Then they.
But you got to look. How promoters got to market fights and sell fights and promote fights now is totally different because of the technology and with the internet and everything else. Social media is huge. some of these big networks kind of go for naught anymore. It's hard. I mean, it really is. I don't know how they do it. I think money, trying to get this talent now again, and taking a chance. I mean, it's a bigger gamble today. These promoters got to pay these fighters to go with them, these talent, or who they think is going to be a talent, because you've got so many more promoters now getting involved in it. I think it's a lot different. I mean, it's costlier for promoters today.
Marcus says, eat good this week, guys. You too, Marcus. Hey, you know what I like about Marcus? Marcus don't take anything seriously. You put a joke thing on the Facebook, and he laughs at it, and I know it's going to piss everybody off at him. I like Marcus a lot.
Marcus is cool.
Marcus is a great dude. And Mark, you know what, though? Thank you so much. Marcus is a great guy. Marcus is one of the most honest boxing journalists out there. There's a few that I like. Obviously, I like Stephen Casper. I like Marcus. I like Ruiz. I definitely, there's so many out there that I like, but these guys are the top of the line. I mean, so. Oh,
I agree. No, Marcus is cool as shit, man. The Fighting Voice says Joshua missed a KO by a cunt hair in the third round. He won't make that mistake again, right? I don't think so.
Clint said, "Will you be watching Chris Eubank Jr.'s U.S. debut?" I'm sure, Clint. Yeah, I sometimes miss fights, but not very often.
Mr. Just Because goes, what's the thoughts of Mexican beef giving MFers a pass from WBC?
Okay, what was the question again?
I don't know how to answer it.
What do we say?
What's the thoughts of Mexican beef giving MFs a pass from WBC?
Who asked that?
Mr. Just Because.
Well, I'll answer that. It's because they tested 3,000 athletes in Mexico, and not just boxing. They tested bicycling, soccer, rugby, all these other sports, right? And out of the 3,000, 2,646 all tested positive for clenbuterol, which says it's in the fucking meat. And with the same as Canelo, they tested for picos of it. Just
who was there to witness that?
Well, whoever tested them. But no, you don't believe that it's in the meat? Dude, that's what they've all Brazil does it too.
Stories in the beef.
It's all,
dude.
It's not in the pudding no more. It's in the beef.
Hey, man, I'm telling you that beef. That's how they keep their beef lean, because they don't see in Mexico they don't have the same guidelines as we do.
Oh, I know.
They don't feed it grain. They feed that shit whatever they fucking feed it. Yeah. The beef gets fat as gross as fuck, right? So they give it clenbuterol to keep it lean as they can keep it, and it's in the meat.
The Quag says, is it safe to say you guys are taking better beef over B-Ball if it happens?
I'm not. I'm taking B-Ball.
Better beef over B-Ball? No,
I'm taking B-Ball.
Yeah.
Are you taking beat off or B-Ball?
B-Ball.
You're over beat or beef?
I'm
taking B-Ball, but I thought you loved that guy.
No, I said if better beef fought a Canelo.
Oh, no. Okay, I thought you said better beef over B-Ball.
No, I never said it over B-Ball. Not yet. I don't know yet who. I'm going to wait up till fight time.
I make my decisions fucking right now. No, I got B-Ball. Are you taking beat or beef or B-Ball?
Everything Boxing says, no way Canelo beats Plant. Y'all sleeping on Plant.
Who's
and I don't see B-Ball beating Canelo.
No one's sleeping on Plant. But who's Plant fought to even say that he could beat Canelo right now? And Plant don't even fucking punch hard to keep Canelo off of him. I agree. You have to do something to keep Canelo off you. Let me tell you what, if Kovalev ain't keeping your motherfucking ass off you and he's 175, Plant's not going to keep you off.
If Triple G ain't keeping you off?
Caleb Plant is not keeping you off. And I like Caleb. Caleb's been on show, he's a great guy, but let's just be honest. Let's keep it real, guys. You need something to keep a guy off Canelo off you.
Yeah, that's...
If Triple G ain't keeping you off and Kovalev ain't keeping you off and Danny Jacobs not keeping you off, Caleb Plant's not keeping him off.
And you're saying that Canelo can't beat Plant, but Canelo could beat Bivol.
That makes no sense. Because Bivol will stroke the fuck out of Canelo. I think Bivol beats the shit out of Canelo.
Bivol, a guy who could fight, I mean, like a puncher boxer.
And fast. I think he might have a personal issue with one of them. I don't know. Yeah. Just a theory. There might be a personal issue with one of the three.
I mean, we're not wrong, Harley. When I say that, you guys could go to our page and pull up from the last 2.5 years. I think I've only missed 3 fights.
I'm more wrong than you are. I think maybe 6.
You're only by like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, that's not a bad pick record for over two and a half years of picking. So
Dana said they eat horse in Mexico. No, they don't. I lived in Mexico off and on growing up. They don't live and fucking eat horse. What? That was like the 1800s. We eat chivo, we eat goat, and we eat beef, and we eat chickens and pork.
Jake Miller asked a good question. Kelly, if you had social media early in your career, listen, real quick. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get back to this. If they may not want to test me for clenbuterol.
Bro, if you had social media, you would never get a fight because they see that shit you post.
Oh, whoa, I've been good.
All that fuckery you post.
Kelly,
they say, Kelly ain't never getting on a card ever again.
And try to market yourself differently and avoid being the kid from a city of rundown factories.
That's what sold you.
Yeah.
That's what sold you, was being a kid from
Yeah, HBO. HBO did a big thing on that.
Yeah.
And that's what kept people, that's what really kept people like in Youngstown, Michigan, those areas that really got people following me. I don't think it really helped as far out. And so it could. I mean, it is a rundown. And some people were kind of like, oh, yeah, Youngstown.
Yeah.
But social media, yeah, I would have done something different to market myself. Maybe my memes would have got me. You know, people have been like, "Hey, he may not be the best fighter in the world, but it's fucking Facebook is funny."
Hector Beltran's watching. That's assistant trainer too.
Who's your agent, Kelly? James Dominguez. He feeds me those memes every fucking day.
I want 10% for memes. Hector Beltran's watching. Virgil's assistant, assistant coach or head coach, because that was Virgil's child coach. Yeah, so that's his main coach. Fuck it.
Look, we out repping.
Look at that. Look at that. I love Hector. He's a good dude. Hector Beltran's amazing. Absolutely.
Better beat Bostick quite convincingly. I think he beats Bivol.
Well, you know what? I want to get on that. I'm gonna talk about this. Do you think I should bring it up about Bostick and the whole thing?
Mexican beef is perfect excuse for doping.
Oh yeah, because we know that clenbuterol is doping. Obviously, you've never doped and don't know what clenbuterol does. You know what the problem is? Everybody thinks clenbuterol is some
even
kind
a fighting boy says Mexican beef given a pass thanks to the Canelo rule.
I don't think so. I think it's in the fucking meat. I honestly believe that because I fucking came up on it in the amateurs. When I was on my honeymoon in 2000, right? I was on my honeymoon when my girl's mom. I came back and I tested for USRA championships, and what they do in USRA, they test you. Rick eats donkey dicks.
Yeah, he does. Go ahead.
I tested positive for clenbuterol. I didn't even know what the fuck clenbuterol was. So,
I mean,
I didn't know what clenbuterol was until like 3 years ago.
No, but clenbuterol's been used since the 1970s there.
I lived in Mexico, knowing the carnivore that I am. You ripped up as shit.
Why did you eat that chicken? Why do you have muscles all over? And why do you run 25 miles a day?
I'd be like, dude, did you see that chicken? He was all walking around with the yard like.
I'd be over there fucking.
That's the chicken I want to eat.
Every time somebody see me, I'd be making fucking Facebook videos, bench pressing 900 pounds. DJ Image says Sergio Mora dropped Jacobs. Anything can happen. Yeah, but you're talking about a needle in a haystack.
Dan says, when I ate in Mexico, I kept being told I was eating goat, but I swear it was at least 4 different animals. You know why? Because you're a fucking tourist, Dan. You don't know what you're eating. You don't know how to speak Spanish. That's why they fed you what they wanted to.
Now. Stop with the shit now.
No, it's not pissing me off because they're tourists. They'll feed you that shit. If you speak Spanish, they ain't gonna fuck with you that way. I know what I'm eating.
Really? They fuck with us gringos like that?
Yeah, they do. They take your money and fuck with you. They do the same thing you do to them.
Fuck Mexico, man.
It's horrible.
Fuck. I can't have shit nice.
I wonder who Mexicans like better, gringos or Puerto Ricans?
White people. Gringos, 100%. They hate Puerto Ricans.
Really?
Oh, yeah. You want to talk about a racial divide? In the Army, Puerto Ricans are here. Mexicans, they fucking hate each other. They wear hats that say Latin pride and they have their flag just to let everybody know that they don't talk to this motherfucker.
Oh, yeah?
Dude, bad, man. It's fucking bad.
Why? Oh, man.
I don't know. Philip says Canelo can't fight at 160 and compete with the top guys today. Philip, are you fucking serious? Canelo can't compete with the top guys today at 160? He already has cleaned the division out, basically, other than Andrade and Charlo.
So so you're saying Andrade or Charlo will beat Canelo?
You know what? A lot of this is and you know what I found too? A lot of it's a personal issue with Canelo. It's the same with Wilder. They have a personal issue. So what they do is people, I'm not saying they are pointing anybody out, elbows. I'm saying what they do is they go in on their fucking boxing skill instead of being men and saying, hey, I hate the motherfucker. They say, oh, he sucks. He's overrated. He can't fight.
They do the same with, but I told Damon put a post up about Wilder being hated. I was like, dude, come on. I was like, Canelo and Lomachenko get it 3 times worse than fucking Wilder.
Fuck yeah.
So, I mean, how are you going to put that? Like, I go, which one is it? Like,
do you hate? Yeah. But that's the truth, man. That's, and you know what? And I thought football fans were really bad about getting like really personal, but boxing fans totally beat football fans by saying, I hate Canelo. I heard somebody say, I hate Canelo. I hope he gets knocked out and dies in the ring. I'm like, have you lost your fucking mind? You would hate a fighter so bad that you wish death on him?
Yep.
But you know what the funny thing is? If they saw Canelo in the street, they'd run up to him like a bitch and ask for a picture. Wouldn't they? How many people talk shit about you, Kelly? And then they run up and get a picture from you. Kelly!
Absolutely.
Kelly, Kelly, sign my wife's tit, please?
Even the fighting voice said Lomachenko has to be the most hated today. Oh, yeah. I know exactly what you're saying. I think
Canelo's more hated.
I get people talking shit and they'll come up and I can't go to the gas station without being there for a half hour. Do you think Eubank Jr. beats Matt Korbov?
Who?
Eubank Jr.
No.
And then
he may. I don't know.
Yeah. Ricky goes, James, where in Puerto Rico are you from?
I'm from.
That was Ricky Wright.
Ricky doesn't know the difference between Mexico and Puerto Rico. Ricky stayed on a ship his whole career. Ricky stayed on a ship.
You know Ricky's fucking one.
But unlike Ricky, I've been to Puerto Rico.
Ricky
Ricky never been to Puerto Rico. He stayed in the Atlantic side.
DJ says, I am not a Canelo fan, but he's top dog right now. He is.
Ricky hung out with fucking Filipino hookers.
He did too.
Yes, he did.
The Quag says, but Ricky raped the men.
Ricky didn't have to rape men. He had boyfriends on the ship.
Yeah, he sure did.
You raped me.
Ricky had about 2,000 seamen in him.
Hey, what do you get? What do you get when you have 120 sailors go down to a submarine? 60 couples.
The Quag, sign my baby Ghost.
Sign my baby Ghost.
Yeah, and Mr. Just Because goes, I got to come down to Ohio and get that work from Kelly.
Who?
Come on, Mr. Just Because.
Yeah, why not? They all want that work until it's time to get it.
Everything boxing hopped over to he's on both now. He says, reason I said that is because styles make fights. Canelo has trouble with guys that can box and move very well.
Yeah.
Caleb Plant can do both.
He had a problem with Danny Jacobs who can box, right?
Yeah, it has respectable power. Bivol is a much better style for Canelo. See, I don't think so, everything boxing.
Bivol's a better boxer than Caleb Plant.
He by far is a better boxer, better amateur.
You know what? Wasn't Bivol's record like 245-15 and he has an Olympic silver medal?
Yeah, I mean, so that goes to show you right there on the boxing part of it.
And not just that, when Bivol hits you, he stings the fuck out of you. He might not knock everybody out, but he drops everybody.
So I'd have to disagree on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
And then he says, I hated Jermaine Taylor, but when my boy Kelly broke his face, I actually felt horrible for the guy. Now there you go. You're making sense now, fighting voice.
See, now he makes sense. No, Marcus
Thanks,
says,
bro. I do appreciate it, man.
Marcus said, wow, they wish death on boxers. They do. Darren says, feel bad for Canelo. He got beat down, and now I saw Golden Boy released him from his contract.
Yeah. Just because from Wisconsin, it's not a far drive. Get that work, meaning getting that ring knowledge.
Could you imagine driving all the way from Wisconsin, getting your ass whooped?
Oh, he just wants the ring knowledge.
That means getting your ass whooped. What? Can you imagine driving fucking 9 hours to get the shit kicked out of you? Getting ring knowledge, as we call it. No. I'm not driving 2 hours for it.
The Quag said, I think B-Ball beats Canelo. Not sure about Better Beef.
I see him beating Canelo, and I see him beating Better Beef too. But who knows? Better Beef.
I think he has a harder time with Better Beef.
Better Beef's so strong, man.
Yeah, because of his strength of Better Beef and being a natural 168.
Better Beef is like Wilder with technique.
Yeah. And again, I think because of coming down from 175 and being a legit boxer, I think it's trouble for Canelo. Listen, just because Canelo, I'm not leaving my opinion on that. I did pick Kovalev over Canelo, and Canelo showed me wrong. But again, 175 is not the class, and 168 is not.
Oh shit.
Canelo's class right now. I still don't think it is. I think when you start getting into guys like Bivol, Benavidez, Better Beef, I think he's in dangerous territory. Even Caleb Plant still poses somewhat of a threat.
He does.
to Canelo.
He's a champion. Darren said it was Cancio. Sorry
Have
about
a good night, Fighting Boys. Thanks for coming on, bro.
There was a question here I wanted to ask you. Esteban had it, and it was a good one, too. Where do Cubans fall in that divide? We've talked about this multiple times, what the Cubans' issue is with boxing.
Yeah.
And it's the same with Ortiz and the rest of them. And Ortiz proved it this past week. And I've said it, and I know Kelly was one of the first to bring it up, and he was right. When the Cubans and some of the African countries, what happens when they become amateurs and they're trained? I know Justin's already going, I've heard this fucking 20 times, but I have to keep saying it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But
25.
But the Cubans, when they are young kids, and when the African fighters, some of the Asian countries, when they're trained, they're not trained with a plan B, C, or D. They're trained as front runners. They're trained to either dominate you and destroy you. But if that doesn't happen, they kind of pack it up. And and the Cuban fighters have been notorious for it. If they can't dominate you,
backup game plan.
They have no backup plan. And that's what has made
more here.
Yep. And that's what have made Americans kind of step out a little bit more, is because American fighters now have, since the past 30 years, been trained with B, C, and D plans.
Yep. I want to try to get some of these in real quick.
Go
Who do you guys pick between? No, you're 100% right on that. Between Jesse Hart and Joe Smith.
Jesse Hart.
I gotta go with Hart too.
Fuck Joe Smith.
Jake Miller. Well, you know what? I don't know on that yet. Joe Smith with Hart.
I like Jesse Hart.
Because speaking of hearts. Richard Pavlik. Better be looks like he might struggle with athletic fighters. He may, but he has that equalizer.
I don't believe that. I think Vostok's a very athletic fighter.
Yeah. Wisconsin doesn't have the greatest gyms. All MMA.
They have great fighters in Wisconsin, though.
I fought in Baraboo, Wisconsin.
Eric Morrell is there. Kendall Gould's in Wisconsin. You guys have great fighters there.
And that's whose undercard I fought on when I fought.
Eric Morrell, right?
Yeah.
Who was a 96 Olympian.
And then James Burrell said Vostok was very athletic.
Hey, look, Virgil's watching. Show me your shirt, Kelly. Virgil Ortiz is watching.
Virgil!
Look!
What up, my man?
Look, Kelly's wearing it.
Out repping. I gotta show you guys a picture I found today on the program.
What'd you find?
What you know about that?
Holy shit, with Bones Adams.
He fought on my undercard, or actually on the same in Kafara Field.
Wow.
Look at that. Look at it, look.
They can't see that.
You can't see it, damn it. That was cool. That was a throwback to 2003.
Who are you fighting?
Text it to me, I can put it in the background.
I fought Rico Kaysen.
Okay.
Hey, if you text it to me, I can put it in the background.
Virgil says, sweet shirt.
Hell yeah, Virgil.
Right, Virgil? Hey, Justin's crying, Virgil. He wants one too.
I got it for cheap at the flea market, man.
Justin's saying he didn't get a Virgil Ortiz shirt too, Virgil. And Justin wants one. He's been sitting here saying, "Hook him, we have one and he don't."
Virgil probably doesn't even remember.
Yes, he does.
He was so nice to me.
No, he knows you.
Super, super nice.
Yeah. Dana says, I think if you're a pro fighter and a 33-year-old and over, you should be looking for a way out of boxing. Heavyweights are the only one who can fight at 33 and still look good. I agree with Dana. You know why? Because they don't fight as much. They don't get a lot of tread off the tires like the smaller weights do. I agree.
Gerald McKellen was originally from Milwaukee. And then the Quag says, why does James not like Joe Smith? Just curious. The Quags, you just opened up a fucking can of worms, man.
Can I tell you why?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me tell you why. It goes back to me and Joe Smith. Sit back, story time, fellas. I'm going to tell you. So Kelly's one of my best homies in the whole world, and Joe Smith did a 24/7 for his fight. Who was that fight? Bernard Hopkins, right?
Yeah, Justin.
So Joe Smith did a 24/7 Bernard Hopkins, and he said, I'm not Kelly Pavlik. I don't quit in fights. And I'm like, ooh, you motherfucker. Yeah. So after that, I wished.
I didn't quit.
No, you didn't. But after that, I wished total annihilation for Joe Smith.
Yeah, and I actually had a stare down with him.
You did, and he got security came, right?
Yeah, and he didn't want nothing to do with that.
We saw him in was it Barclays Center? And you looked at him?
No, it was at MGM.
It was MGM, right?
Or no, Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden, yeah. And you saw him, and then all of a sudden security wouldn't let us go past that area.
Everything Boxer said, I think Plant is the best at 168.
Virgil said, tell me the size and I got you. Justin, what size? What size? XL, Virgil. And I'm still good on my shirts. You don't have to send me anymore.
I'll take another one, though.
Justin said he loves you. And you know what? Since you're out there, we'll all take, me and Justin will take XLs. Kelly will take a 2X.
James will send a check.
We'll send a check.
Everything Boxer goes, I think Plant is the best 168. We'll find out this coming year. I do not think that Caleb Plant is the best at 68 right now.
Hey, Steven, you were there that night at Madison Square Garden, actually, with us. You were there that night when he had that, when Kelly saw Joe Smith was going to ask him about it. And then Joe Smith brought over security. Because he did say on the 24/7, I'm not Kelly Pavlik. I don't quit in fights. And I was like, holy shit, fuck Joe Smith.
Exactly. Thank you, Duke, too. But I'm going to get back to these real quick. Everything boxing, I appreciate that.
You know I got you, homie.
But you know, I'm not, like, I think Plant, I'm sure James does, we think they're great fighters. He's a great fighter, but I just don't think at 68 that he's the guy to fucking do it. So it's, I think Bivol, I think Better Beef, these guys are too, I think Canelo, they're just too much for Plant right now.
I think they're too much for Canelo too. I'll be honest. I love Canelo as a fighter, but I think those guys are too much for Canelo as well. So I'm not just saying he's too much for Plant. I'm saying they beat Canelo too.
Santiago Media goes, Kelly, do you think El Heyman and his zone have hurt the sport of boxing by paying fighters over the fair market value?
No.
No. In my opinion, the smaller promoters are like the minor leagues of the sport. But that's how they're getting these fighters to stay. That's how they're picking them up, and that's where you're getting all this talent in every direction, and it's spread out. They're not under one, and one promoter is not freezing big fights as much anymore like they used to be able to do. I think now that you have a variety, and I think it's good, and it's getting these fighters to commit and fight. You know, they're under contract, and I'm sure there's stipulations in these contracts too, though. So I don't think one bit that it's hurting boxing. I think it's actually going to help the sport.
I don't see anything wrong with paying a fighter more than they can possibly get. There's nothing wrong with that.
Because if they don't, then it goes back to promoters are crooks and this and that. And so, like, I mean, nobody's ever really happy with it. But
I think anytime you get competition in the free market or any kind of market, it's good. Even whether you don't like Al Heyman or you don't like Golden Boy or you don't like Top Rank, whatever the case is, them competing with each other is giving fighters more of an outlet to make more money, them competing. Yeah. And that's a good thing. And it's because it is. I mean, you could be like the UFC and have basically Bellator and basically UFC competing, and then they can pay you what they want because there's no other outlets unless it's a local fight and they're not going to pay shit.
Exactly. DJ Image says, Pavlik was a beast. I remember watching his fights when I was younger. Crazy thing is, I'm older than Kelly. Well, thank you, dude. I appreciate that.
Virgil says, Dan Rossano. Virgil's fighting December 13th in Indio against Brad Solomon. Solomon is 28-1. Solomon, right. Virgil's going to fuck him up.
Virgil, you're on your way, bro.
Virgil's going to fuck him up. In Indio. At the casino.
Yeah. Fantasy Springs.
You fought there too, right?
I sure did.
Yep.
Hell yeah, Virgil. Go out there and kick some ass, bro.
Hector Beltran says, Virgil Sr. loves to wear scratch and sniff undies.
Tell him to get me a pair.
Get us a pair. Philip said, it's a cartel of promoters. Dana said, Joe Smith can only dream of having a career as half as good as Kelly.
Wrap up.
Yeah. S1 says, we talked about Wilder's right hand. Who has the deadliest left currently in boxing? Who has the deadliest left in boxing? I would say I like Inoue's left hand. I like Crawford's left hand.
Yeah.
I think
Canelo's left hand.
Canelo. I think Mikey has a good left hand. I don't know. I mean, what are you looking for? Are you looking for a sharp left hand? Or are you looking for a knockout left hand?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say.
A one, or what we call one, which is a left, or if you're an orthodox fighter. Still. I think that is like something that you should have as a mandatory, as a good one or good left hand. Mm-hmm. But
Timmy Turner said Donaire.
Donaire has a good left hand.
Kelly has a natural diet, no supplementation. Does this hurt or help me physically? I don't like supplements. And not vegan.
Nothing.
Supplements don't help really anybody. I mean, supplements are exactly why they're called supplements. You know, they don't replace food. I think if the reason why supplements were created is if people are busy and they ain't got time to bring food with them to the gym or in the car, but they're supposed to take over the place of food. So what supplements are is something to hold you over until you get to your meal. I think the only supplement that really is worthy of taking is BCAAs because it does this extra help. But as far as supplements, I mean, you don't need to add that to you. I haven't taken a supplement myself, powerlifting now. I'll buy once in a while muscle milk because I'm not going to go keep eating Subway and McDonald's.
No, I take supplements. Just
So,
no,
Yeah.
I get all my supplements from whole food. I don't need protein powder. I don't need all that
so
stuff.
try to stay away from the supplements. I mean, unless you ain't got time to get some food in you and within an hour after you work out, then yeah, take a protein shake. But if anything, if you're going to do any supplements, drink the VCAs.
Dude, I've lost 112 pounds in a year and a half by just whole food, no supplements. So.
Yep. All right.
Supply and demand. KO left hand KO. Crawford knocks people out the left.
Yeah.
Inoue, Donaire. So many, Esteban.
Canelo.
All the supplements won't help your chin if you can't fight. Oh, they do help your neck though. They help your neck get big, and that will help you take a punch. Yes, it may not help your chin, but it's not the chin that disconnects; it's the neck. So
whiplash in the neck.
Yeah, the whiplash, and that will make your neck bigger and more able to take a punch.
Absolutely.
So Dana says, "I take B12." Who doesn't love B12, right? Remember the B12 injection? It was like red. Do you remember
I used to get those every
the
time.
fights, right?
Yeah, right in the booty cheek.
Dude, they hurt though.
Yeah, they do. That's why you get them in the ass cheek. I know motherfuckers used to get them in their arm.
Fuck that.
Dude, the day before a fight, you're getting that in your arm?
Do they do it the day before your B12 or the day of after weigh-in?
I used to get mine the day before.
Okay. What about
I mean, you should probably get it the day of. If you get it in the morning, the day of the fight, by 8 o'clock at night, it's in your system.
And you're fucking ready to go.
Yeah.
Does it really help you with like energy and stuff?
Yeah, it gives you a little extra boost, especially the shot.
Yeah.
But you're better off getting a vitamin cocktail.
Dana says 112 pounds. Yeah, I lost 112 in like 18 months. And not just that, I put on like 30 pounds of muscle too in like 2 years. Maybe less, 20, 25.
Yeah. Tell you still think of making a comeback. No. I'm going back to the motherfucking buffet line.
Well, it was a great show.
It was. We'll be back next week. Stay tuned.
I want to thank Justin for being the best producer in the world.
Justina.
And Kelly for being
We got to get Justin a mic.
We got to get... Why don't you have a mic, Justin?
People ask,
They do ask.
4 people to ask about you having a mic.
Nobody cares.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, I swear to God. Like Dave asked,
Dude.
they like to hear what you got to say.
Yeah, they
I
do.
forget who it was. Somebody asked me,
Yep.
they're like, you need to give him a mic because we want to hear his inputs, especially like with the MMA shit.
Bro, Rogan's guy, he has a fucking mic.
I have the extra mic right up there.
Fucking
Vato.
mic right there. Then put the mic on.
Put the mic on. Next week you'll be mic'd up.
You gotta be mic'd up. We need you on here too. Our numbers are dropping. We need all the help we can get.
Numbers aren't dropping.
Yeah, they are.
Horrible.
That's going good.
Are they going good?
Yeah, they're doing very good.
Oh shit. Thank you, Esteban. I appreciate it, bro. Don't help AJ, did it? No, like I said, guys, great show. Thank you for coming on. You guys are the ones who make the show. If it wasn't for you guys, we'd be just 2 guys with an opinion. What they need to do, Kelly?
Subscribe, share, like, ring the bell.
Ring that
Hey,
bell.
go check out that Sweet Science Plus app, man. You guys will love that.
Oh, also, I want to welcome Steve Stoller as an admin to the Punchline page.
Yeah, but mainly check out that Sweet Science Plus
I was going to get to that.
app.
I was going to get to that. Also, after you welcome Steve Stoller, go to the Sweet Science app if you want to learn boxing technique from Kelly Pavlik and Billy Lau, who fought Chavez and Camacho. He fought everybody in the sport. He put an ass whooping on
AJ Perkins takes it in the butt.
He put an ass whooping on the British guy, Duddy, right?
Yeah.
And subscribe to it. It has a lot of your nutrition stuff in there, your boxing technique. It has things that you're not going to find anywhere else. Subscribe to it.
Exactly. It's a great app.
The Sweet Science app.
And it's cool to have Steve Stoller a part of the team.
It is, Steve, and welcome, Steve. Thank you, Robert. He loves the show. We appreciate all you guys, and we will see you guys Tuesday at 7 o'clock.
Thank you.
This is the last episode of season 9.
Last episode of season 9.
Last episode of season 9. Season 10.
Season 10. We've been 10 years, and we only been 3.
Yep.
We do quarter seasons. Fuck it.
We're our own shit.
Yep. Darren says you guys make Tuesdays better. No, you do, Darren. You guys make Tuesdays better for us.
No. Bye.
You guys can peace out again.
I'm the world couch potato champion. All right, bro. We're out.